So yesterday we have started cirrhosis of the liver, very important pathology related with liver. So very important in exam point of view. Uh, Maybe 20 marks question is there for this particular topic. Okay. So what is cirrhosis? What is definition of cirrhosis? Yes. It is a condition of progressive chronic inflammatory change which is diffuse in character and accompanied by retrogressive changes of the parenchymal cells with atrophy and with fibrosis. Okay, it is due to proliferation of the interstitial tissues. So this is the definition of the cirrhosis. Cirrhosis, it is nothing but the disturbance of lobular architecture with formation of regenerating nodules and replacement fibrosis in the areas where cells are completely get destroyed. Okay. So this part we discussed yesterday. Then we discussed about the classification of cirrhosis. Okay. So, okay. Let me join the students. Okay, so classification, there are 3 types: portal cirrhosis, biliary cirrhosis, and miscellaneous group. Okay. So what are the types included in the portal cirrhosis?
Nutritional cirrhosis, alcoholic cirrhosis, post-hepatic cirrhosis,
Post
and post-necrotic cirrhosis.
cirrhosis. Okay. Then biliary cirrhosis.
Primary or intrahepatic cirrhosis and secondary or extrahepatic
cirrhosis.
cirrhosis.
Right. And miscellaneous group?
Syphilitic and lipoidal.
Then
And two more.
Cirrhosis of Wilson's disease or cirrhosis in Wilson's disease and pigmentary cirrhosis. Okay. So in this picture, you are looking that this is the normal liver and liver with cirrhosis. Okay. How the surface is looking here? Cirrhotic liver, yes.
Rough surface.
Rough surface.
Nodular. Rather than rough, it is nodular. Okay. So the cirrhosis, it also can be differentiated into micronodular and macronodular cirrhosis. Okay. So which one we called it as macronodular? That is the nodules size less than 3 millimeter in diameter is micronodular. So it is commonly it happens in the alcoholic cirrhosis that if the patient is taking alcohol, so the liver is micronodular, that is nodular size is less than 3 millimeter in diameter. But after cessation of alcohol, when that person left the alcohol, then there is changes in the nodular size, that they become large in the size, more than 3 millimeter in diameter. The size become more than 3 millimeter in diameter. Okay. So macronodular, we call it as macronodular. Less than 3 millimeter, micronodular. Okay. So this is the classification part of cirrhosis. Then today we will go towards, today we are going to discuss about the pathology of cirrhosis. That is the first pathological point in cirrhosis is there is collapse of hepatic lobule during necrosis. Okay, collapse of hepatic lobule during necrosis, then formation of diffuse fibrous septa, and third, there is nodular regeneration. There is nodular regeneration of hepatic parenchyma. So the first point, that is collapse of hepatic lobule during necrosis. This collapse of hepatic lobule, it occurs due to approximation of portal and central zones. Due to approximation of, there is portal zone and central zone. All of you know there is portal zone, that is portal triad. It contains, yes, hepatic artery,
Portal vein, hepatic portal vein.
yes, hepatic portal vein, hepatic artery, and bile duct. Okay, that we call it as portal triad. And central zone is where the central vein is present. Okay, that is the central zone, and surrounding structure, we call it as central zone. So collapse occurs due to approximation, collapse of lobular structure. It occurs due to approximation of portal and central zones, and this is characteristically seen in the viral hepatitis. Okay, so here in viral hepatitis, some cells, they get regenerate to form nodule of different size. Okay, and at the same time there is formation of fibrous septa get developed at the same time in the portal zone and in the lobular parenchyma. Okay, so this collapse in the pathology, the collapse of lobule, this is, you can see here in this picture, there are lobules, hepatic lobule. Okay, this is the normal liver with normal structure, structural, this architecture of the liver. But here there is little bit changes that occurs due to formation of fibrous septa. There are fatty cells you can see around this, in this lobule, and necrosed area. This brownish area, it is necrosed area. So the area of central zone get get faded, that is become necrosed, and periphery of this you can see the fatty cells. Okay, and the other portions, that is in periportal zone, that is portal triad, or in the sinusoidal area, we called it as here in the portal zone, or above, that is beyond the lobules, you can see the necrosis. Okay, so this is the cirrhotic liver and this is normal liver. Okay, so whenever there is infectious pathology get develops, then the cells get regenerate to form nodules of different size, maybe micronodule or macronodule, and at the same time the fibrous septa, this fibrous septa get developed around the lobules or in the portal zone. Okay, in the portal zone. Then the regeneration of liver cell nodules, they are of different size. They may be large or small. Accordingly, the liver is either granular or either nodular. Micronodular, that is granular, or nodular. If the nodules are large, more than 3 millimeter in diameter, then it becomes nodular. Okay. The sinusoids, they persist at the periphery of regenerating nodules. The sinusoids, they always persist. They remain as it is at the periphery of regenerating nodules. The shunting of blood directly from the portal to the hepatic vein. So the shunting of blood, that is the flow of blood, it is directly from the portal to the hepatic veins. Now we will go towards the next topic, that is nutritional cirrhosis. In the portal cirrhosis, there is one part of portal cirrhosis is nutritional cirrhosis. This nutritional cirrhosis, the synonyms of nutritional cirrhosis are multilobular cirrhosis. It is also called as multilobular cirrhosis or Lennox cirrhosis. Lennex Lennox cirrhosis. Atrophic cirrhosis, alcoholic cirrhosis, and fatty cirrhosis. The nutritional cirrhosis, the other names of nutritional cirrhosis are multilobular cirrhosis or Lennox cirrhosis, atrophic cirrhosis, alcoholic cirrhosis and fatty cirrhosis. And the percentage of this particular type of cirrhosis is 95% of the patients. 95% of the patients with which they are gone through the cirrhotic changes, they are of this type, that is nutritional cirrhosis. What are the characteristics of nutritional cirrhosis? It is slow, very slow progressing cirrhosis in chronic progressive condition associated with destruction of hepatocytes. So here the progress of the mainly the chronic conditions, there is chronic condition associated with the cirrhosis. It is slowly progressing, associated with destruction of hepatic cells and are replaced by fibrosis. Okay, this get replaced by fibrosis. This proliferation of fibrous tissue, it is stimulated by toxic agents characterized by enlargement of liver. Of course, it is associated with GI disturbances, GIT disturbances like nausea, vomiting, pain in the abdomen, like this. So, the proliferation of fibrous tissue, it is stimulated by the toxic agents, various toxic agents, because in the synonyms you can see it is atrophic, it may be alcoholic, or it may be fatty cirrhosis. So, fatty degeneration, chronic alcoholism are main, or some nutritional causes, nutritional deficiencies may initiates the process. So this fibrosis is also stimulated by toxic agents. It could be fatty acids, or it could be alcohol, or it could be some because of nutritional metabolic changes occurs due to some nutritional deficiencies. So this characterized by enlargement of the liver associated with GIT disturbances. Now, nutritional cirrhosis, the etiology is, first etiological factor is malnutrition, then alcoholism, then infections like infective hepatitis, infectious, it could be infectious, infection may be the cause. Then the Wilson's disease in other conditions, the Wilson's disease, then congenital syphilis may be the cause, then malaria or Kala Azhar. This Kala Azhar, it is nothing but the leishmaniasis caused due to the parasite Leishmania donovani. Okay, so these are all the causes of nutritional cirrhosis or Lennox cirrhosis or atrophic cirrhosis. Okay. Now first is malnutrition. So what is malnutrition? Why this malnutrition causes cirrhotic changes? Because it is mainly related with the proteins. The protein deficiency in the diet is the main causative factor. There is protein deficiency. It is the main factor associated with this cirrhosis. This diet, which is rich in the fat, helps to develop fatty liver, which undergoes furthermore fibrosis. So whenever there is less proteins in the diet, the liver become fatty. The fat, or it could be associated with the diet which is rich in the fat, okay, which develops into the fatty liver, and furthermore it gives rise to fibrotic changes. Now, the nutritional cirrhosis, the classical example of nutritional cirrhosis is in Africa. There is kwashiorkor. The disease called is kwashiorkor. It is very much common. And in this cirrhotic changes, they are again very much common. Okay, it is due to nutritional deficiencies. So what exactly happens in nutritional deficiencies? There is absence of lipotrophic factor. The lipotrophic factors are mainly choline and methionine. These are the lipotrophic factors, and the absence of lipotrophic factor in the diet, it causes accumulation of excess fat in the liver. Because the liver, why this is associated with accumulation of excessive fat? Because the liver is concerned with the metabolism of fat by phosphorylation. By the phosphorylation, this metabolism of fat occurs in the liver. Okay, and for this phosphorylation, the choline and methionine is needed. So these lipotrophic factors, they are very much essential for phosphorylation. So whenever there is absence of lipotrophic factor in the diet, it causes accumulation of fat in the liver. Okay, so in the pathogenesis, the first cause is lack of lipotrophic factor in the diet, and if the person is alcoholic, then the alcohol consumption adds to the increased demand, okay, of this factor. Okay, so the deficiency which get intensified by infections, or if there is pregnancy or dietary deficiencies of vitamins. The hepatic here, what are the changes occurs in the pathogenesis in case of this nutritional cirrhosis? The hepatic cells, they become loaded with lipids. The hepatic cells, they become loaded with lipids, and on rupture of the cells, the fat gate accumulates between the cells. With rupture of the cells, whenever this hepatic cells, they become loaded with the lipid. Why this lipid hepatocytes, they get loaded with the lipids? Because of lack of lipotrophic factor. Okay, or if the person is alcoholic, then this all the things, they get intensified, and the increase there is increased demand or deficiency of this factor because of alcoholism. So the hepatic cell, they become loaded with the lipids, and on the rupture of this cells, that is hepatocytes, the fat get accumulates between the cells. Thus, there is gradual destruction of the liver cells. There is gradual destruction of the liver cells, and whenever the liver cells, they get destroyed, it get replaced by fibrosis. That particular area get replaced by fibrosis. Okay, so this causes interference with the tissue respiration. It causes, whenever this there is accumulation of the fat and rupture of this hepatocyte occurs, the fat accumulates between the cell, and this will get replaced by the fibrosis. So this all the things causes interference with the tissue respiration, and later on there is anoxia of the hepatic cell occurs, resulting into deficient carbohydrate metabolism, resulting into deficient carbohydrate metabolism, and this will later on causes fatty infiltration of the cells. Later on, it causes fatty infiltration of the cells. Okay, so this is all about of nutritional cirrhosis. What exactly happens in the nutritional cirrhosis? Am I audible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
In the nutritional cirrhosis, we have discussed that there is lipotrophic factor which is essential for phosphorylation, and this phosphorylation causes this whenever there is deficiency of this lipotrophic factor occurs, this metabolism of the fat become difficult, and this fat get accumulated inside the hepatocytes. These hepatocytes, they become loaded with the lipid, and they will get rupture, and the fat accumulates between the cells. This will causes destruction of the some of the hepatocytes with replacement fibrosis, and later on there is difficulty in the tissue respiration, which gives rise to anoxia of hepatic cells, resulting in the deficient carbohydrate metabolism, and it causes later on fatty infiltration of the cells which are normal. In that also the fat get started getting accumulated. Okay, so this is all about of the nutritional cirrhosis. Then we will talk about the most important part is alcoholic cirrhosis. So what exactly occurs in this alcoholic cirrhosis? Okay, so alcoholic cirrhosis can produce fibrosis in absence of accompanying necrosis. Now, this fibrosis can be centrilobular, perilobular, pericellular, or periportal. Centrilobular, pericellular, or periportal. When this fibrosis reaches to certain degree, there is disruption of normal liver architecture. It will give rise to disruption of normal liver architecture, and it will causes replacement of liver cells with regenerative nodules. This fibrosis, which is whenever this fibrosis become very much extensive, it causes disruption of the liver cells, normal liver cells, and this architecture of the liver get disturbed, and this will get replaced by the liver cells by the regenerating nodules. Okay, in alcoholic cirrhosis, the nodules are less than 3 millimeter in diameter. We call it as micronodular. With cessation of alcohol, it causes the large nodular liver. Okay. Now, the pathogenesis of alcoholic cirrhosis. What is the pathogenesis of alcoholic cirrhosis? In this, what is the content of alcohol? That is ethanol. Okay. Ethanol is mainly absorbed by small intestine and the lesser degree through the stomach. So here this gastric alcohol dehydrogenase, that is ADH, initiates alcohol metabolism. Gastric alcohol dehydrogenase. This initiates the alcohol metabolism. So there are three enzyme systems. They are account for this particular alcoholic metabolism. That is cystosolic ADH, microsomal ethanol oxidizing system, and thirdly paradoximal catalase. Paradoximal catalase. Now, there is the majority of this ethanol oxidation, it occurs via ADH. What is ADH? Alcoholic, yes. What is ADH?
Alcoholic dehydrogenase.
Yes, it is alcoholic dehydrogenase. So the majority of ethanol oxidation occurs via this ADH. Okay, to form acetaldehyde. This will get converted into acetaldehyde, which is highly reactive molecule that may have multiple effects. So this acetaldehyde conversion is it proves very much harmful to the metabolism. Okay, or it has very much other multiple effects. So which are those? The intake of ethanol increases intracellular accumulation of triglycerides by increasing fatty uptake, fatty acid uptake, then by reducing fatty acid oxidation and lipoprotein secretion. So this lipoprotein secretions and fatty acid oxidation get reduces, and there is increase in the fatty acid uptake due to this ethanol, which is the main content of alcohol. Okay, this is the first effect. Secondly, the protein synthesis, glycosylation and secretions are impaired. Okay, so this protein synthesis, glycosylation, secretions, they are impaired. Then third effect is oxidative damage to the hepatocyte, that is the membrane of hepatocyte occurs, that is oxidative damage to the hepatocyte membrane. It occurs due to formation of reactive oxygen species. Oxidative damage of hepatocyte, it occurs due to formation of reactive oxygen species. So this acetaldehyde is the only reactive molecule that combines with this acetaldehyde. It is the only molecule which is a reactive molecule that combines with protein to form protein acetaldehyde adducts. So this acetaldehyde, it combines with the protein, and this protein acetaldehyde, they combine, they form protein acetaldehyde adducts. Now, what is the harm of these adducts? These adducts may interfere with the specific enzyme activities, including microlobular formation or hepatic protein trafficking. This hepatic proteins, they get accumulated and they interferes with the specific enzyme activities. With all these activities, there is production of excess collagen and extracellular matrix. So these adducts, they causes, they interferes with the enzyme activities, which is associated with this micronodular formation of the liver and also accumulation of the protein. That is, proteins, they could not go forward, they get accumulated inside the hepatocytes. So there is, with all these activities, there is side by side, there is excessive collagen and extracellular matrix get accumulated. Okay. So the connective tissue appears in both periportal and pericentral zones, eventually connects the portal triads with central veins forming regenerating nodules. This causes loss of hepatocytes, and with increased collagen production and deposition, the hepatocyte destruction occurs. Okay, so here, because of this hepatocytic destruction, there is liver, the size of liver, it contracts and it shrinks in the size. So we call it as, what was the name? That is atrophic liver. Okay, we call it as atrophic cirrhosis. The other name of this nutritional cirrhosis, we call it as atrophic cirrhosis. So here, because of this liver contracts, okay, because of loss of hepatocytes with increased collagen production and deposition. Okay, and this hepatocyte destruction occurs. How this destruction occurs? Whenever there is anoxia because of this excessive collagen production and this matrix formation of the matrix, there is the tissue anoxia occurs, destruction of the hepatocyte occurs. Okay, and afterward there is disturbance in the carbohydrate metabolism that we have discussed earlier. Okay, so this is all about this alcoholic cirrhosis, pathogenesis of alcoholic cirrhosis. Now, what are the things in the pathogenesis of cirrhosis? The first thing we discussed, that is there is direct hepatotoxicity by ethanol, that is formation of this protein acetaldehyde adducts. Okay, the conversion of ethanol into acetaldehyde because of these proteins. Okay, the second is hepatotoxicity by ethanol metabolism. Then there is oxidative stress get develops, oxidative damage get develops. Here we have discussed earlier in this. There is oxidative damage to hepatocyte membrane occurs due to formation of the reactive oxygen species. Okay, due to formation of reactive oxygen species, there is the stress, oxidative stress increases. Then next is immunological mechanism, that is this ethanol causes direct immunogenic attack on the hepatocyte. Okay, then next is inflammation. This ethanol ingestion, it is injurious to hepatocytes as well as the intestinal cells. As the hepatocyte damage occurs, there is damage to the intestinal cells also. So it damages the intestinal cell. So whenever this ethanol get absorbed in the intestinal cells, this intestinal cells, they releases cytokines, that is TNF and this interleukin 1 and 6. TNF and interleukin 1 and 6 get releases by the intestinal cells. So this cytokines associated with toxinemia, it produces apoptosis of the cells, intestinal cells, and it also causes apoptosis of the hepatocytes, which ultimately causes necrosis. Okay, necrosis of the hepatocytes. So this initiates the inflammatory reaction, that is the cytokines and endotoxinemia. This initiates the inflammatory reaction in the liver. Okay, and there will be damage of the hepatocytes. Now next in the pathogenesis, that is fibrillogenesis. It is due to increased collagen. We discussed about this. There is increased collagen and the extracellular matrix. The next is there is increased redox ratio. Now this part is remaining. There is increased redox ratio. That is first in this redox ratio, the first part is there is increased NADH to NAD ratio. NADH to NAD ratio. So what is NADH? That is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide hydrogenase. That is NADH. And NAD is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. So this ratio increases. Here the acetaldehyde is very much toxic to the hepatocyte. It causes membrane damage and cellular necrosis. Okay. So the cofactor, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, cofactor of this acetaldehyde. The cofactor, that is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, that is NAD, which is a hydrogen acceptor, and it will get reduces into NADH. Okay, so it will become nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide hydrogenase. It will reduces to, that is it is this NAD, it is a hydrogen acceptor, so it reduced to NADH. So what is meaning of increased redox ratio? That is this ratio, that is NADH to NAD ratio increases, and this NAD, it is a cofactor of acetaldehyde, which is very much toxic to the hepatocyte, which causes membrane damage, oxidative damage, and cell necrosis. Now in mitochondria, this that is acetaldehyde molecule. It acts as a coenzyme and converts this acetaldehyde into acetate. Okay. In the mitochondria, this acetaldehyde, it will get converted into acetate. And most of the acetate on leaving the liver is finally oxidized into carbon dioxide and this water, CO2 and H2O. So in mitochondria, this acetaldehyde adducts, that is the coenzyme, it converts acetaldehyde into acetate, and whenever this acetate leaves the liver cell, it get oxidized into carbon dioxide and water. So simultaneously the other cofactor NAD, it is reduced into NADH, resulting into increase NADH NAD ratio, that is redox ratio. Then next, in the pathogenesis, we have discussed that there is again, see, whenever there is inflammation, there is swelling of hepatocytes and the protein. So retention in the liver cells, swelling of the liver by this water and proteins, they get accumulated inside the liver cells. It is again the part of the inflammation. So whenever this collagen get accumulated around the liver cells, it will get transferred into fibrosis later on, fibrotic bands. So all this pressurize the hepatocytes, all this causes pressure on the hepatocytes. So there is hypoxia of hepatocytes. Okay. And later on, this abnormal fat get deposited inside the liver, because whenever there is anoxic damage of the liver occur, the fat get accumulates inside the